Welcome to Building Foundations for Education. Summertime is here, but there's lots going on here in our school district. And with me today is our very special guest, Dr. Mark Rendell, to talk about the great things that are happening in our community. Welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And so I think people think, oh, summertime is sleepy, slow, and nothing's going on, but it's really quite the opposite.
Yeah, a lot of people do think that over the summer we just stop working completely and we shut down and wait until the kids come back in August. And actually we're very, very busy over the summer. We have a lot going on. We did just finish the year, as everybody knows, and the culminating event for us in the year is graduation.
Yes.
You know, we're a K-12 school district, 12th grade senior year. That's our culminating year for our school district. And so we had fantastic graduation ceremonies at Sebastian River High School, Vero Beach High School, and Indian River Charter High School. All those students celebrating their accomplishments and getting ready for their next chapter in life. I do want to give a special thank you to the Scholarship Foundation of Indian River County. You know, that's a group that has been around for several years and provides scholarships for all of the graduating seniors, well, not all of the graduating seniors, but graduating seniors from all the different schools here in Indian River County, not just our public high schools, but also St. Edward's and the other private schools in our county. And you know, we had a special night to present all those scholarships, and Camille and her crew were there, and they gave out almost $750,000 in scholarships, over $750,000 in scholarships. And you know, that's direct support from our community to our students, to our young people, to our future, to enable them to go to college and pursue their dreams and hopefully make a positive difference in the world. But all of those scholarships, all the $750,000 are all generated by private donations.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, I'm sure other communities do this, but I just don't know of another community that's as generous.
Well, I think our Scholarship Foundation really is a model for other communities. That's my understanding. And really, at least that's what I know from Camille and from other ed foundations across the state. So I think we have a lot to be proud of them and their wonderful work and the people who support them.
Well, I think that's true. It's a model for a couple of different reasons. Number one, for how they award the scholarships. There's a selection process that the students have to go through, and then the follow-up that Camille and her crew do with the students as they go through college. They have to keep the Scholarship Foundation abreast of their studies, their progress, that kind of thing, stay in contact to maintain their scholarships. But then the other part of the fundraising part of it, what the team does to raise the funds. And you know, there's a few events like the annual football game between Sebastian River High School and Vero Beach High School, and then a few other events that they do to raise money. But a lot of it's just private donations and endowments and things that, you know, it's reaching out to the community and personal contact that raises a lot of those funds. And I just think that, you know, we should really be proud of our community and how they're supporting our young people as they go forward.
Absolutely. And I thought it was interesting you had shared about the other scholarship presentations at the other, at all the high schools, and how usually sometimes you see the same kids, but it really wasn't. It was a wide variety of children.
That was something I really took note of this year. Each of the schools have their own scholarship ceremonies where they hand out, you know, other scholarships, like maybe the local Elks Club or the Lions Club or Rotary or the VFW, and they hand out those. And what I know, I attended, you know, a lot of those different ceremonies, and what I noticed is it wasn't the same kids getting the scholarships time after time, which a lot of times you would think, you know, the top scholars in the school are the ones that are going to get all the scholarships, and our community is doing a great job of spreading it out. You know, taking a look at kids who maybe don't have the means to go to college. You know, they have the aptitude and everything, the skills to go, but maybe they don't have the financial resources, and so we're making sure we're taking care of those kids. You know, IRSC has a couple programs. There's the Take Stock in Children program, but then there's also the TRIO program. They're both designed to help kids who don't have access to the funds to go to college, to make sure they can go to college. And we have both those programs in place affecting kids here in our district. And so just a lot of great things to celebrate as we close a year. You know, everybody does take a deep breath and relax because we finished another school year, but really to celebrate all these young people going off with the support of our community to go out and do great things.
Well, and I think it's important, too, there are a lot of hardworking families supporting their students, but it's expensive to go to some of these top schools, and so all of those scholarships make it possible wherever these students are going to achieve their dreams.
Yep, I currently have a freshman, now sophomore at the University of Florida, so I know exactly how those college expenses can mount.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you want to share just briefly Take Stock, because I know the Take Stock program here in Indian River County is another great example. I know when I'm at meetings across the state, Indian River County is held up as, again, as another model of success.
It's a great partnership with Indian River State College. I want to thank Dr. Massey and his team. You know, this is something they've been doing for years, and it's not just with Indian River County. IRSC partners with Martin, Okeechobee, and St. Lucie County. Those are the communities they serve. And Take Stock's a statewide program. It's in place at other districts as well, but I do think IRSC and these 4 school districts do a really good job.
Yes.
And so in the Take Stock in Children program, students are identified in middle school as having the potential to go to college, the skills, the aptitude, and the desire to go to college. And so they're given a mentor that works with them through their middle school and high school years to help to get them ready to go to college. And basically, if selected in middle school and they maintain good grades and they stay out of trouble, do all the things that they're supposed to do, they're guaranteed a 4-year full scholarship to Indian River State College. And a lot of those students take advantage of that. Now, we did have a ceremony down at Indian River State College at the McAlpin Center down in Fort Pierce for all 4 counties. And there were 3 levels to the ceremony,
wow.
three levels of students being honored. So the middle school students who had just been selected, about to enter high school, they're the ones that are going to be the future.
Right.
But then the high school students who are graduating, that have kept their grades up and kept out of trouble and all that kind of thing and worked with their mentors. So they're ready to go to college now with that 4-year scholarship. And then the graduates
of
IRSC who participated in this program. So you saw all 3 levels. It was really good because the middle school students could see the high school students that are, who they're looking up to and want to be in 4 years, graduating seniors, but also then the college graduates who had participated in the exact same program, had the exact same kind of support. So it was a great ceremony, a great night, for youth in our 4-county area,
That's awesome.
Treasure Coast, and great support by Indian River State College.
That's awesome. Well, all good stuff. And that's not all. We've had Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, our district should be very, very proud. Our own Kate Fiore, who's an elementary school teacher at Vero Beach Elementary, is a finalist for State Teacher of the Year. Kate is actually a homegrown product, went through all of our schools here. Her father actually teaches at Vero Beach High School. He's taught at many schools in our district and many schools around the state. So Caitlin is a homegrown educator, so to speak, but her classroom instruction is phenomenal. So she was awarded, Vero Beach Elementary's Teacher of the Year earlier in the year, and then she was selected as our county Teacher of the Year, which put her in the running for State Teacher of the Year, and then she was selected as a finalist. So July 13th, that's the date they will name the Florida State Teacher of the Year. And Kate has a really good shot. She's an incredible teacher and does great things with those kids. And she would be a great selection. And the unfortunate thing is if a teacher is selected as Teacher of the Year, it's kind of like Miss America. They go out on tour.
Yeah, they go on the road.
We kind of lose Kate for a year while she goes out around the state and the country, speaking on behalf of educators. Not just in Indian River County, but all of the state and the country. And it's a great thing for great recognition for Kate and great recognition for our district if she becomes State Teacher of the Year, but we'll lose her in the classroom for a year. But we'll welcome her back at the end of her tour if she's selected. So hopefully on July 13th we'll get good news, bittersweet good news if she's selected. But I wish her the best, and she's a fantastic teacher, a great selection.
Well, we're all very proud of her and excited for her, and I know I have a statewide meeting next week, and it's sort of like football or sports teams. We all start saying why our Teacher of the Year is the best, and who's going to win, and I get pretty obnoxious. So we'll be rooting for her and excited to see what happens. Well,
it was a really neat a way to announce that she was a finalist. The Commissioner of Education and some representatives from Macy's, because Macy's actually sponsors the State Teacher of the Year program. They show up that morning. They don't tell you ahead of time or anything like that. They call you first thing in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock, and say, by the way, we're going to be at such and such school to name your district Teacher of the Year as a finalist, and you can't tell anybody, and it's all hush hush and secret, and so they come in. It's like Publishers Clearinghouse.
Like the prize,
They have a big check. And Kate actually got a $5,000 check from Macy's and a $500 gift card from Macy's. The school actually received $1,000. So this is all underwritten and supported by donations and by Macy's and some other corporations. But you'd have the Commissioner of Education show up and walk into your classroom and announce that you're a finalist for Teacher of the Year is something pretty special. I know Kate was very emotional in her class.
I'm sure.
That's the thing that I love about it is it's announced in the classroom.
So the students are part of it.
Yes, and they're filmed. The whole thing is filmed. It's on our website. You can see the video clips and everything. But that's the way to make that type of announcement, is right there in the classroom with the teacher and the students that she is impacting on a daily basis. And so kudos to Commissioner Stewart for making it her practice to do that. It's kind of like Publishers Clearinghouse, but in the classroom. It was a lot of fun, and again, we're wishing Kate the best of luck.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really lots of excitement. And speaking of excitement, I love the motto, change is good. Lots of great changes. And do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually are appointing 6 new principals to positions this year. I think this is really, really good for our district. Our schools need to be as good as they can be. Best possible leadership leads to improved student performance. There's actually research that shows, obviously, the classroom teacher is the #1 factor in student achievement or student performance. But the second most important factor is the leadership in the building.
Right.
And there's actually research that shows that. So that's above socioeconomic status, it's above home situation, teacher, and then leadership in the building. So we got to make sure that we have the best leaders possible. And so very excited about the 6 that are going to be taking the helm this year as we go forward. Gifford Middle School, actually Tasha Jones, who's been serving as the principal at Storm Grove Middle the last couple of years, is transferring over to Gifford Middle School to be the principal.
Great.
Tasha was at Gifford Middle School for several years as an assistant principal, so she knows the school well. When we were trying to paint the picture of who we would want, the candidate that we would want to lead Gifford, we said, well, it would be great if we had someone who had principal experience. It'd be great if we had somebody that knew the faculty at Gifford, maybe had worked there in the past, maybe somebody local
knows
from
the community
and everything. And Tasha fit all those requirements.
Awesome.
And so I actually went to her and asked her if she'd be interested in taking on this challenge of transferring over to Gifford and being the principal and everything. And she was excited to do it. She was invested there for several years. And so she said, yeah, I'd love to go back there and try to help the school become what it can be and that kind of thing. So Tasha Jones will be serving as the principal at Gifford.
That's awesome.
Well, then that leaves a vacancy at Storm Grove Middle.
It's like chess.
And we've talked before about one of our other hotshot educators that we have here, and Ann Bieber, who was or currently serving as the assistant principal at Vero Beach High School and was a state assistant principal of the year.
Yes, big honor.
A big honor, is going to be the new principal at Storm Grove Middle.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Ann's done a great job here in our district for many, many years. In fact, she's been the assistant principal at Vero Beach High School for 17 years.
Wow.
And really responsible for curriculum and instruction.
She deserves an award for that.
An award for surviving as an AP for 17 years. But yeah, Ann's a perfect fit. She knows curriculum and instruction inside and out, especially at the high school level. So she'll work to get those stingrays ready when they leave 8th grade to go to high school. So we're excited about that. Great community support for Ann and that selection. Then we have some elementary school changes. We promoted Kelly Basura from principal at Treasure Coast Elementary to executive director of elementary programs. So that left a vacancy for principal at Treasure Coast Elementary.
Yes.
And so I'm actually transferring Liz Tatro, who's the principal at Dodgertown Elementary, has been there for several years, has done a great job with Dodgertown. They're on the cusp of some great things at Dodgertown. She's worked really hard.
Yes.
So we're transferring her over to Treasure Coast Elementary to take Kelly's place. And again, when we were looking, Kelly, there's some big shoes to fill.
Yes.
It'd be great if we could have an experienced principal come in, someone that's always focused on teacher quality and pedagogy and instruction in the classroom, and that's what Liz does.
And great energy.
Great energy, yep, doing a lot of great things. So she'll fit right in with the Treasure Coast Elementary crew. The Pirates there, she'll fit right in. She'll lead them to even greater heights. I think that's going to be great. That's fantastic. So then that leaves a vacancy at Dodgertown.
Right.
So we're very excited about someone we're bringing in from outside of the county. Her name is Aretha Burnett. She'll be taking over at Dodgertown Elementary. She was an elementary principal in St. Lucie a few years ago, actually down in Port St. Lucie at Village Green Elementary. And she took Village Green from a struggling school to not really performing very well to becoming a hot school performer. Moved their student achievement up greatly in the span of just a couple short years. In fact, then they promoted her to the position of turnaround leader in St. Lucie County. She's in charge of all the schools, the resources to support the schools that are in turnaround. So she knows turnaround. She knows how to fix a failing school and that kind of thing. So Aretha is going to be a fantastic fit for Dodgertown. She has a lot of energy and enthusiasm. She actually was an AP calculus teacher at the high school level.
Oh, wow.
Before getting into administration. But she loves elementary. She loves, fixing these elementary schools, and we think she's going to do a great job at Dodgertown.
That's exciting.
And then we have a couple other openings at the elementary level. Over at Citrus Elementary, we did promote John Teskey to Assistant Superintendent of Operations. So that left a vacancy at Citrus Elementary. So now we have to, find new leadership for Citrus Elementary. And so Kimberly Garcia is an assistant principal, or was an assistant principal at Fellsmere Elementary. She's been doing a fantastic job at Fellsmere Elementary in curriculum and instruction, leading a lot of changes there to make sure that those kids are getting provided the best instruction they can in the classroom, and the teachers focused on the standards and that kind of thing. Fellsmere has a large Hispanic population. Citrus has a growing Hispanic student population, so it was great that Kim's going to have that skill set with her when she goes to Citrus to take over.
Yeah.
And she's been in our district for many years, held a lot of different positions, literacy coach and some other positions. So she's going to do a great job at Citrus.
Oh, she'll be awesome.
Yeah, she'll be fantastic. It'll be great. I mean, John leaving is again big shoes to fill.
Yes.
But I think Kimberly, her energy and her enthusiasm, her drive, she'll jump right in there and take over. It'll be great.
But he'll be applying his skill set also in a big way for the district.
Yeah, we're excited
so
about John. We're excited. John Teskey's going to be in charge of operations. So he's going to oversee facilities, maintenance, transportation, food services. He has some military background in operations, so he's going to apply some of those concepts to lead us in that area.
Well, it's deploying buses,
deploying resources. Yeah,
deploying resources.
It's the same thing as he's done in the military, and he's received awards.
Yes.
For his service and promotions in the military, in the reserves. So I think he'll do really well in that position.
Yep.
And then the last building is Beachland Elementary School. Change in leadership there. We're hiring a gal named Colleen Lord. She was a principal in Brevard County a few years ago, an elementary school in Brevard County, Ocean Breeze Elementary. Very similar makeup to Beachland.
Oh, wow.
And when she took over, it was an A school, but it was really not performing as well as it could be.
Right.
And she very quickly turned that around. It actually became the 5th highest rated elementary school in the state.
Wow.
Her second to last, or her last year there. They actually won a Blue Ribbon Award for excellence as an elementary school. So, she's got a lot of experience leading elementary schools, making sure that we're providing the best education possible. She actually then went to a middle school in Brevard and did well there. Was an area superintendent overseas, and then came back to Florida and wants to be back in the principalship. So we're very excited that Colleen's going to take that, take the helm at Beachland and, lead it to the prominence that that it once was. It used to be Beachland was such a sought after and a chosen school, so to speak, and a prominent school here in our district. And I think with Colleen's leadership, we'll reach that height again. So we're really excited. 6 new principalships, a couple new faces at the district office, with John Teskey being assistant superintendent of operations. Kelly Basur, new executive director of elementary programs. We have a couple more district spots to fill.
Right.
But the building level leadership is a critical role. Like I said, classroom instruction is the #1 factor, in student achievement, but building leadership is #2.
Well, and I think you had shared a while back that the differences is years ago it was viewed that principals were running a building. Well, now they're really leaders of instruction. It's
Absolutely.
a shift.
Yep. There's been a big change in schools in the last 20 to 25 years. Principals in the past were building managers. They just make sure everything was organized, and dismissal was smooth and arrival was smooth, and we had everybody in the right place, and we ordered everybody's supplies and things like that. But over the course of the last 20 to 25 years, as we've really started to measure achievement in our schools and hold teachers and students and everybody else accountable to student performance, principals have had to become instructional leaders to really get in the classrooms and see what's going on and be able to recognize good instruction and reward teachers who are providing good instruction, but also push them to even higher heights. And then if there's some instruction that needs some attention, they need to be able to communicate effectively with the teachers. Hey, this could be done differently. This could be better, and that kind of thing. So they've had to become improvers of instruction. When we say instructional leadership, that's what it's about, is being able to go into a classroom and see if high quality instruction is being provided, and if not, what can you do to make that happen?
And what does it look like? How do you model it?
What does it look like? And so, people hear a lot that principals do a lot of classroom visits. There's this phrase called walkthroughs.
Right.
Well, you have to be in the classroom to see what's going on, to know if quality instruction is being delivered, that the kids are getting what they need, the kids are engaged, that they're on task, that they're learning, and that kind of thing. And so, there's a lot of expectations around that as principals and assistant principals now, and we need to make sure that we have people that can do that at a high level in those buildings.
Well, and I think you brought up a key point, that students are engaged. And I know I'm in the schools a lot, and I feel like as an outsider, so to speak, you can tell very quickly whether students are engaged and whether they're excited and what's happening. And the teacher certainly leads it, but having that leader of instruction, I'm sure, helps drive that as well.
Yeah, there's been a shift over the last few years. to more student empowerment, you know, more student ownership of their learning.
Right.
You know, we used to always stand in the front of the room and deliver the instruction, and the students were the receptors.
Right.
And you know, the way the world is changing now, kids have to have skills. They have to have skills that they can adapt and learn new material on the fly. I mean, that's what most employers say, is they want, you know, students who can think, you know, problem solve, think creatively, work together as part of a team and all that kind of thing. So we've had to kind of change the way we instruct to make sure our students have more ownership over their learning, more cooperative learning or group work and things like that. But we want to make sure the cooperative learning or the group work is productive. Right. You know, just put kids in groups and send them over here. You know, there has to be routines and procedures in place that they know that they're accountable for producing some kind of output or some work, you know, that they understand what their expectations are and that they can meet those. And the teacher's providing, you know, real-time feedback as to whether they're meeting those goals and stuff. So classrooms today should look a lot different than they did when we were in school. Yeah. And it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. It's
we
wonderful.
need to, you know, like I said, these kids need to be equipped with all the skills that they need to be successful. And you know, we live in a rapidly changing world. Jobs are changing all the time. So the skill set they need is almost more important than the knowledge. It used to be we'd have to know facts and be able to regurgitate them. Now we need to be able to discern facts, find our own facts, research facts, you know, come up with hypotheses, test them out, and all that kind of thing. So,
well, really to be analytical, to be thinkers, because so many jobs are being replaced by robots and self-serve automated things. So
so, you know, and it doesn't happen just in the classroom. You know, there's programs that, like over the summer, we actually are involved in some programs like Literacy on the Lagoon that takes kids out of the classroom and gives them hands-on experience. Right. For the viewers who don't know, Literacy on the Lagoon is a program that we have at 2 of our schools over the summer, Treasure Coast Elementary and Sebastian River Elementary, that students come to school. We select a group of students who need some support over the summer. Right. And they come to school 5 days a week for a 6-week period. And on Monday and Friday, they come to school, but then they get on a bus and they go to the ELC. Right. Go to the Environmental Learning Center, and they actually do hands-on activities in the environment. And then Tuesday through Thursday, they research, read about, write about the things that they saw at the lagoon on Monday and Friday. It's an incredible program. It's improved the literacy skills of the students who participate in the program greatly. We've been doing it for several years. It's totally funded by private donations. The Learning Alliance and some other partners fund that program. So it's another way that we've got kids exposed to, you know, hands-on learning, applying their learning in the classroom, but you know, things that they learn over at the ELC. It's a great program. It's a lot of fun. They probably don't even realize they're learning. They're having so much fun. That's the thing. You know, they're tricked. They're having so much fun they don't realize they're learning. So that's one of the great programs that we have over the summer. And you know, that's the thing. Summertime, everybody thinks it's a time to kick back, relax, and not think about school and maybe not practice any of those skills. And there's a lot of research that shows that over the summer, some of our students lose skills. It's called the summer slide. So for some of our students that we know need to be supported over the summer, we have programs like Literacy on the Lagoon, like some summer programs at some of our other schools. Step into Kindergarten. Step into Kindergarten, for example, and you know, some other programs that we've identified students who need that support. Right. But really, all of our students need to keep those skills up over the summer. And you know, for a lot of us, when we were younger, you know, over the summer, we had certain books to read. Maybe we had a book list, or maybe our parents just made sure we were reading over the summer, practicing some of those skills. So we need to encourage all of our parents, you know, not just the ones whose kids are in programs over the summer, but all of our parents, all of our families, all of our students need to be keeping those skills up over the summer. You know, reading over the summer, maybe practicing some math skills when they're at the grocery store, figuring out how much everything's going to cost, or you know, deciding how to divide up the pieces of the pizza or something like that, and you know, just you know, not totally shut down on school skills over the summer. Even baking, you know, fractions, lots of different things. Yeah, there's so many fun things, you know, parents can do with their kids over the summer to kind of just keep some of those analytical skills up, and you know, especially the literacy skills. That reading over the summer would be really important. No, I'm glad you shared that, because we get asked that a lot with the Step into Kindergarten program, which of course is a 29-day extension program for children who've been in voluntary pre-K to prepare them for kindergarten. And we're excited with the district support, the community support to help prepare 200 children. But we've been surprised that some parents say, I don't want my child to participate, they need a break. So I'm glad that you really explain that and why that's important. And there are other enrichment programs going on right now as well. Yeah, our community has a lot of other opportunities, you know, at the museum, plenty of camps around. you made a comment when we were talking another day about how sometimes when parents are choosing a camp
right.
for the summer, they say, well, I hope they're not doing anything academic at the camp. I want my kids to have a break. Well, we need to make sure there's some academics going on over the summer. We don't want them to lose those skills.
Right.
But Step Into K, like you said, over 200 students who participated in pre-K during the year, but maybe still need some more skills, sharpening some of those skills before they enter kindergarten. Such a great thing that we have Step Into K, funded by donations from our community. So 200 students are going to get some extended learning over the summer, get them ready for kindergarten. And that's the thing. When they enter kindergarten, if they don't have the skills they need to be successful, then they're already behind.
Right.
They're handicapped, so to speak, already academically if they don't have those skills. So for those 200 students that are going to get this extended learning opportunity to help get them prepared for kindergarten, that's a great thing. It's fantastic.
Well, and it's such a gift. We're grateful to the Children's Services Advisory Council, United Way, the Johns Island Community Service League for helping us. And I think one of the biggest benefits is the social emotional component. And when I speak in public about it, that it helps children develop skills to follow directions, work well together, play well with others. I laugh. I'm like, I know of adults who could benefit from those skills, but those are life skills.
It's interesting you mention that, because when we talk to kindergarten teachers and we say, what kind of things do you want these kindergartners to know when they come into the building? And they said, it'd be great if they knew their ABCs and they knew how to count and all that kind of stuff. But if they don't have those academic skills, if they have the social skills, they know how to work in a classroom, they know how to share, they know how to wait their turn, they know how to raise their hand, they know how to get along with others.
Get in a line.
To get the line up and wait their turn and stuff like that. They said, if those skills are already in place, we can teach them all the other things. You did mention CSAC. Big shout out to the county commissioners. We keep talking about private donations that fund a lot of these programs. Well, the county commissioners have set aside the CSAC funding, and that really does help. So that's taxpayer dollars actually helping support some of these additional programs.
And it's huge because there's many nonprofits that benefit from that funding, and I think that community partnership again is such a great investment for our children and for our future. Yeah,
and sometimes I guess we do forget to thank the county commissioners for that support, and so we definitely do want to recognize their efforts and their votes to make sure that funding is sustained.
Yes, thank you. Well, we've covered a lot of great information from graduation, Teacher of the Year. We find out June 14th, right?
So July 13th.
July 13th.
July 13th will be the big unveiling. It's actually at Universal Studios at the Hard Rock Live. I'm going to go there. It's a big dinner, and got our fingers crossed for Kate. But if she's State Teacher of the Year, it's a great honor. But we will lose her for a year.
Yeah. And so great things happening this summer. So I hope you'll come back again soon and we can talk more, because before we know it, we'll be preparing for back to school.
We'll be ready for August 14th, the first day of school. So I'll be back and we can talk about getting ready for the first day of school.
And our back to school party coming up.
Back to school party and everything, yes.
So thank you so much. Thanks for being with us, and we hope to see you soon.